Hey guys, welcome back to Built in America. I'm Jeff Vreeland. This show is about men and women who are actually building businesses in America today, not just chasing profits, but trying to do it with conviction, integrity, and responsibility. Each episode, as you already know, I sit down with founders, operators, leaders who believe business is more than transactions. It's influence, it's stewardship. It's one of the most powerful transactions that we have. It's also stewardship, and it's one of the most important ways our values show up in real life. We're here to talk about the marketplace, what's changing, what's working, what it really takes to serve customers who care about what they buy, but also who they're buying it from. These are honest conversations with people doing the work, learning in real time to build, lead, and grow in a very complicated world. I'm very happy to have Lisa Langland, who is the president at Beaker Gold, and to join us today. She sits right in the middle of the intersection of building a business and staying grounded in her values. So Lisa, thanks so much for being here today. I appreciate it. Can you tell me a little bit about Beaker Gold?
Absolutely. So I started as a chemist. I love researching and finding things that actually help solve problems or as much as you can with skincare products. And so I focus on ingredients that have research behind them and help target things like eczema, arthritis, stuff like that. I started because my kids, when I was going through school, they had eczema and I was looking out to see what there was. And there just wasn't a lot at the time. And so I started looking kind of from that viewpoint of what natural ingredients could we use to get somewhere. And I've started using like shea butter and jojoba extract and various other things. And then my mom has arthritis. So I formulated a joint cream for her in 2021. We started in 2019 officially. And then I really started wanting to be able to provide products that people could really feel good about, as well as using as local products as possible or as local ingredients as possible.
Awesome. I love it. Developing a business out of personal needs is always the best businesses. That's always really, really cool. Awesome. Well, thank you for that. Let's jump into our 5 questions. Question 1, how does your business help people live out their values when they spend their money?
Well, for one, I kind of think of that a couple different ways. One, a lot of people are wanting to, what I find is a lot of people are wanting like ingredients that are a little more natural, things that are going to you work with your body holistically as well, as opposed to like when I was first going through school, I was like looking at medicinal chemistry and kind of how more of the pharmaceutical companies use things. Because I mean, I was going into research and development in chemistry, so that's like a huge main part that chemists would go into. And then the more that I looked at it, the more I thought that our bodies are a whole being as opposed to, this little bitty part. And so as far as the values go, as there's a lot of bad practices in the beauty industry and such where you're kind of things can be a little dishonest in labeling. And so I kind of wanted to provide something that people could actually use their money to get what they believe that they're buying in the first place. And then also there are a lot of the more natural companies tend to be a little more on the liberal side
Mm-hmm.
to an extent. And so just to provide an option for people who feel like when they're supporting someone, they're supporting a local company, they're supporting a company that shares their beliefs and values.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So number 2, what does building and growing your business in America mean to you personally?
So my thought is I'm trying to use the most local ingredients and like containers, for instance, as possible. Now, and also buying ingredients from other small companies that are kind of focused on being in America.
Question number 3, how have you seen your customers change in maybe the last few months or few years, especially conservative or faith-minded customers?
Well, I've definitely noticed the more conservative and faith-minded customers seeking us out more.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, especially earlier on, just because of like the political climate, we were in an interesting intersection of having a broader clientele. Basically, people are just wanting to really put their money where their values a little bit more agreed with. And so
Mm-hmm.
we've had we really have had a lot more people coming to us for that. I remember earlier on we had some people come to us, and when they found out we didn't agree with their views, they might have gone elsewhere,
Yeah.
or at least we noticed that. But we really want people to we want to support those people who are a little more aligned with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we see that a lot where people are starting more and more to kind of put their pocketbooks, put their checkbooks.
Hmm.
Nobody uses checkbooks anymore, but starting to put their money where their values are. And that's really starting to happen a lot. So, all right, let's
Hmm.
jump into question number 4. What values guide the way that you lead your team and serve your customers?
So, first of all, we're a Christian company, and
Hmm.
so serving God ultimately guides a lot of what we do. And in doing so, when our first goal is to serve people, we're not thinking about, okay, well, what little thing can we make the most money?
Hmm.
It's okay, well, what's actually going to help the problem the most?
Yeah,
And that kind of guides into how we price our things. Of course, everything's expensive regardless, but just especially when we talk to I love talking to people in person to find out, okay, well, what's there actually kind of going on?
hmm,
Because when the goal is to help people, that really that kind of changes how we go about things.
absolutely.
As a because because sometimes, especially, there's I don't know, we've had a lot of people who they'll say, oh, I use it occasionally, but it'll solve the problem. And I feel like there's my goal is to not have people have to have people coming back all the time for things, and to
Yeah.
just like give them something that'll last a bit longer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Question 5. This is my favorite one. What's one piece of advice you would give to other business owners trying to reach values driven Americans?
Really is to focus on how you're serving people, and focusing on the people as opposed to just the pure numbers, which and reaching out to people who are either in that area that are already reaching people in that space, or just reach looking for places that are promoting your values.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Well, thank you so much, Lisa, for taking the time to be with us today. Guys, that's the end of our show. I hope today's conversation encouraged you and reminded you that building a business in this country is more than profit. It's about values, people, and long-term impact. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you subscribe to our weekly Liberty Spenders podcast, where we go deeper into how Americans are choosing to live out their values with where and how they spend their money. And if you're a business owner, a leader, or a brand that wants to better understand how to serve value-driven Americans, check us out at libertyspenders.com. We'd be happy to book a call and talk with you about it. Finally, if you or maybe you know someone who would be a good guest here on Built in America podcast, head over to builtinamericapodcast.com. You can learn more of how to apply. Thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting American built businesses, and we'll see you next time on Built in America.